I would like to say that if you are a member of the Mongol Motorcycle Club, aka gang, please unsubscribe because I am, in fact, a 1%er of the Hells Angels Arkansas chapter, and we're natural born enemies, so I need you to get the fuck out of here while I make my meth. That actually, Arkansas and meth, that shit goes hand in hand. Okay, so I've got Cosmic Ghost Rider #1 here. And Ghost Rider isn't a character that I really have read anything on, which seems weird because you'd think I'd be into it. I remember as a kid I had a Ghost Rider action figure that I just saw was the coolest shit, but I don't think I've ever read a comic that was like just a solo Ghost Rider title. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. He's in space. You know, space is like the final front. You know what, I like ocean stuff more than I like space stuff, but he can't go underwater. He's all fire. Unless we're playing by SpongeBob rules, so whatever. Okay, I got a variant cover here. Why? Because this features more chains on it. And you know what, I don't think I've ever mentioned on the channel before, but Chains is the most superior character in Payday 2, one of my favorite games of all time. And he's portrayed by the superior Poitier actor of all time. And you're like, whoa, who's better than Sidney Poitier, Lindsay? And I say, Damion Poitier is far superior because he plays Chains in Payday 2. I'm just throwing it down. Sidney Poitier, what? Look who's coming to what? No, I'm talking YouTube videos that are a tie-in to a video game. He's a superior Poitier. And he was also in Civil War for like a second. And he's got beautiful eyes. So okay, let's get into this. Like, just look at that. I feel like it shows up a lot more orange on camera for whatever reason, so we're just gonna look at that. That's wow. I feel like the camera just sort of, this is way more detailed in real life, but I don't know, the camera just doesn't want to look at orange stuff, which, you know, huh? It's protecting me from gingers. You know what? I gotta be into it. So if you don't know, apparently Frank Castle became Ghost Rider at some point, so let's just get everybody caught up to speed in a very simple, efficient manner. Apparently they did something like this in All-Star Superman, but you know I don't fucks with Superman, so this is new to me. It's quite refreshing. And it's cutting down on my reading time, because you know what, just because I like comics doesn't mean I like to read. So we see, of course, Frank is a soldier, then kind of the second life-changing event there, and then he just fucking loses it on Terror, which I thought was weird language. I mean, he's just sort of, in my eyes, he's just sort of just killing almost indiscriminately anyone, but I guess you can just call him terrorists if you want. And of course, when you're a terrorist yourself, Frank, I mean, who terrorizes terrorists? That's a terrorist. You're a terror. I'm like George W. Bush. Terror. Of course, you're gonna die. You're gonna go to hell. You're gonna deal with this sharply dressed gentleman. And somehow you're gonna make a deal with him because you know what, this place is a little too hot. Frank doesn't like the heat. And he's wearing black. It's gonna be almost unbearable. And you can't die in hell. You just go to like super ultra mega hell, and it's like 2 degrees hotter, but you notice it. You can't not notice it. There's literally, you're getting tortured, and you're realizing that, yeah, you sweat more here in super ultra mega hell than you did in regular hell. So you gotta make a deal. You become the Ghost Rider. You sort of lose it a little bit, because I feel like, you know, Frank, he's a little sanctimonious. He thinks he's superior to everyone. But then you give him a motorcycle, and you give him a flaming head. He's just, it's gonna be even worse. It's like almost unbearable. You can't go out to dinner with this guy because he's always just talking about himself. It's like, oh God, I get it. You're insane and you want to murder everyone. What are your hobbies? Okay, and then apparently he becomes the herald for Galactus, which I don't know if that was a like good storyline or whatever. But I just like how we've got huge Galactus here, and we've got, you know, little sassy Ghost Rider here, like, you need me, bitch. Because you don't know what to eat. Galactus, are we sure the Galactus is a male? Because not knowing what to eat and not knowing where to eat, that's a distinctly female trait. And he's just got his little white go-go boots and he's just white gloves. He's just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's what I see here. Is some weird relationship here. But it turns out, oh yeah, we got some more stuff here. He gets the power cosmic because, you know, that's literally like the one good thing about working with Galactus. I mean, unless you got a fetish for watching planets be eaten. I don't know, maybe you're fucking weird like that. Thanos, he's rocking a very bold beard styling choice here. And then we got this fucking S&M Ghost Rider Frank. I didn't know you had it in you. Also, I'm digging the shoulder pads. I mean, I don't know if I couldn't pull it off. I couldn't pull off Spike's shoulder pads in an S&M suit in my everyday life, but you know what? You're work it, girl. Of course, you're gonna die again. And Thor's hammer's gonna kill you, because I feel like being a herald for Galactus, a lot of turnover. I feel like, you know, we don't see it because that would not be interesting at all, but for every Silver Surfer, there's probably like, just like a guy named Tommy, or, you know, like an inferior metal like Iron Surfer, and then he oxidizes, and he just crumbles. And also, he didn't really have a good personality. He didn't have a good palate to figure out what Galactus wanted to eat. So we see that Frank is in Valhalla, which is questionable to me, but you know what, Odin, he justifies it later. It's a little suspect, but you know, you gotta suspend the disbelief a little bit. He's in Valhalla, he's getting into a fight with this god here. He's like, so, you a god, huh? Killed a few of them. What are you the god of? Big talk. I'm not super into this art style. It reminds me of like some cartoon I've seen. But I don't know. I just feel like this should be gritty as fuck. But whatever. And then, oh, Jesus Christ. What is up with these crazy beard choices here? What is going on? Is there a lack of hairstylists in Valhalla just because everyone's rocking long hair? Nobody wants to mess with blonde perfection. So they're like, we just got to do weird shit with the beard. We're beard stylists here. He's getting into a fight with a god. He's just handling business. Just regular old Frank Castle is handling business. I don't know if you get god powers. I mean, he was a Ghost Rider. I don't know. I don't know about this. He's like, the god is, of course, like, is that, who taught you how to fight? You just toss me around doing judo flips. Thanos taught him. I don't ever really recall Thanos breaking a bottle in half. Like every bad guy in every 90s movie. The devil. Alright, moving on. I feel like the devil knows a lot of fighting styles. And the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Semper Fi, brother. Am I right? I feel like there's a thing with like people who really like the Punisher. They're into this like military shit. And I'm like not as into that. so I'm sure somebody read that and went, fuck yeah. But then they also don't sign up for the military because that shit sucks. I don't know. I just feel like it's a little fan servicey, but you know what? Whatever. And then eventually we see Frank. He of course won the fight. Apparently he removed the guy's nose because you can't kill a god, but you can demark his face. You can definitely ruin your life. Let that be a lesson to you. Dude, if there's anything good about this channel, I'm teaching you lessons through the comic books. Look, the chances of you winning a fight, probably pretty low. Especially, I mean, we all like comic books here, so pretty low. But you can ruin someone's life. You can't win a fight, but you know what you can? You can remove flesh from their body. You can just fuck them up. You can fuck somebody up. If you mess up someone's face, one of two things is going to happen. One, they get a cool facial scar. I feel like the probability of that, pretty low. Personally, I would love a facial scar because I feel like that would age me a little bit. and I feel like I can pull it off. Or you will completely ruin their fucking life. Even if it's just a little scar, they'll be self-conscious about it. You win in the long run. You won that. I mean, they won the battle. See where I'm going with this? But you win the war. I'm just saying. I'm teaching you. But we see this, and I can't remember what this is technically called, but let's be real. That's Rainbow Road for Mario Kart, and I feel like if you just, because Owen's about to come in, so you know they try to like keep it on the DL that this is Rainbow Road, but if you put your ear to this, you hear little go-kart motors. Yeah, see, I hear it. Did you hear it? So we see Owen, of course, he comes up to him and he's like, look, you can't be doing that, even though the guy was, apparently he killed children, but whatever. Also, I feel like if I'm in Valhalla, right? If I'm in, look, I'm not really into formal wear. I'm starting to get into fashion a little bit. I'm getting into the sneaker game for sure. But I gotta assume that if I gained entry to Valhalla, I would dress it up a little bit. I mean, I would be doing more than wearing a ratty t-shirt with holes in it when I'm in fucking paradise. I'm just saying, come on, Frank. Have some pride in your work here. Come on, my dude. So eventually we find out Odin is the one who brought him in because he thought that he was unjustly murdered by Thor's hammer. And we also find out a little bit about Frank. He wants to be punished. So I don't know. I don't know if this iteration of Frank has a little bit of like Catholic guilt or just religious guilt in general, because you know religious guilt, it's the best / worst kind. I mean, that religious guilt, that gets shit done, or it ruins families. It just depends on what you do with the guilt. But it's probably the best guilt to have, or not. I don't know. For me, it isn't. Like, why would you be? No. I don't want to get into specifics about religious stuff, but some of that stuff that people feel guilty about, it doesn't fucking matter. But the weight of that, the burden of it's probably, I mean, you got God looking down on you. Ooh, just don't believe in God, and you just cheat code that shit. So he's like, why am I not punished? I sold my soul to the devil. I rode with Thanos, and I get a reward. Well, my family's dead. No one ever ripped time apart to give them nothing. Sorry, Frank. I tried to correct your grammar there. My bad. Ask me again why I spit in your face. So, of course, Owen's like, look, let's get you a cape. Come on, man. Let's get you a cape, bro. So he leads him into a garage and a weaponry, whatever. He's like, I believe it is. He's like, tells him this stuff like about how, you know what, you deserve a spot here, which if Frank gets a spot in Valhalla, I feel like I have a good chance of getting in Valhalla. You probably have a pretty good shot, unless you, I mean, he's making deals with the devil. He's riding with Thanos. He's murdering 2-bit drug dealers. As long as you've either done that or less, we're all getting to Valhalla, baby. Oh yeah, virtual high five. I felt gross. As soon as I went in for that, I felt gross. But whatever. He's like, I believe you people have a saying. I believe it is fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Get that thrash metal going, and we just have a pile of intestines here. And then also this thing, I know it's supposed to look cool, but it looks like one of those things if I touch it. Oh, my hair's standing up. The hairs on my head is standing up. So he's like, look, I can give you your powers back, but I'm not so sure if you'll be 100% because your Ghost Rider powers are fucking crazy. And we see this. He gets his little Mars attack helmet on. It fucking explodes. And we get this shit, which get that thrash metal fucking pumping, dude. Now, you know I gotta bring in the stupid shit. So, and he hands him this Mars attack helmet, and I gotta wonder, is it necessary for him to have this? Because, I mean, he's got a skull face. Where does the Ghost Rider part of him, where's the skeleton part of him end, and the human meat begin? Because, you know what? He doesn't have lungs. He may not have lungs if we got a skeleton under that sweet ass S&M outfit. but he doesn't have a nose. He doesn't have a larynx. He doesn't have a trachea. Does he need to breathe? I mean, is this just purely aesthetics? Alright, I'm done being... I wish I could say I'm done being stupid, but... So, he eventually decides he's going to Titan, which I assume they're talking about Saturn's largest moon. Why, yes, I do know stupid little tidbits like that. You're welcome. So he goes to Titan, he's like, look, I'm gonna end where all this bullshit started. I'm gonna kill a fucking baby. Baby Thanos, to be exact, but still a baby. And I just would like to point out this. He ain't got no dick. He ain't got no dick. So you know what I'm thinking here? I feel like there's a little bit of manhood stuff involved here. I don't really personally have any experience with that, but I assume that for every baby you kill, you just get like a centimeter more of dick. And we laugh about it now, but I swear to God, there was probably a period in time where some crazy person just said, hey, for every baby you kill, you get a couple centimeters. And then somebody was like, what? Hell yeah. And then all the babies were dead. So I'm just saying, maybe if you kill a couple babies, your dick will grow. Maybe it won't. How will you know you won't know unless you do it. So get out there. You can go to a hospital and there's a whole ward where it's just babies. You can get a bunch at once. You can get a huge dick. So eventually, he's going to try to kill this baby, but he's like, nah, I can't do it. It's just a baby. But then he talks about the penance stare, which the word penance, it's got religious connotations here. And I feel like it's a little bit lost here. This looks cooler, but he talks about how when he was Thanos' black right hand, which, whoa, that's loaded language, he would give him penance every morning, hit him with this penance stare. It would make him inflict all the pain and misery he had dished out on the universe right back into his evil soul. He loved every minute of it. Ooh, we got like a sub-dom relationship going here, and he's like, nah, I can't do it. This looks a little more silly. He's just a baby, so you know what? He punches the baby, which it might make your dick grow a little bit, but not as much as murdering a baby. So then it ends up with this, which I didn't know it was gonna go this way at all. I don't know. I don't know about this. When you get babies involved in a story, that's a surefire way for me not to be interested about it. But then I've been thinking, like, what are the good stories that include babies? Baby's Day Out. Love that. 3 Men and a Baby. Look Who's Talking. Look Who's Talking 2. Look Who's Talking 2 is mostly about puppies, but baby dogs. You see what I'm saying here? I don't know. I think I'm going to get issue 2 just because, look at this. Look at this fucking cover. You guys know that if there's a shark in the cover, I'm fucking contractually obligated to get it. But I don't know about this. I have no clue where it's going to be going. I don't really know how to end the video.